Hi, this is Mitch with the Fresche support team, and today we're going to be taking a look at report cards and how to customize them within TG Audit. So first things first is I'm going to access the TG menu, and we're going to enter TG Audit, and we're going to take an option 31. Now, what we recommend most customers who are starting out with the tool is first things first is to run the Fresche Security Configuration Standards report card. Now, this is going to give us an overview of your system and where you are currently at in terms of security, and allow us to approach areas of possible vulnerabilities that we can further secure your system. So we're going to navigate down, and we're going to take a 7 to run the report. When we go to run this report, we can leave the defaults here, and you'll notice the output type is the *HTML. And what this is going to do is generate HTML files to the IFS in the Trinity Guard reports directory. Now, to read those files, we can pull them off of the IFS, but what we recommend is to actually, in the IBMI agent installation configuration, Step 4 here, we'll see configure NetServer to enable report viewing. And what this does is we open up a file share so that we are able to grab these files directly from our Windows system, our local system, with a mapped network drive. And that's going to allow us to pull the results quickly and view them within a browser. So I'm not going to go ahead and run this because I've done so in the background. And in the background here, this is going to be the results of our report card. Now, obviously, you'll have different pass-fails, but you'll see it's a list of reports. That's all a report card is. It's a collection of reports that, in this case, what the Fresche security team has deemed most important, at least in the initial stages. And we'll see either a fail, a pass, or an info, some things that are just nice to know about the system. So you may be wondering, what constitutes a pass or a fail. So I'm going to look at the block password change, for example. I'm unaware of what that would be. And to get a bit more detail about the fail that we have, I'm going to click on the detailed report here. And this is going to show us specifically what happened on our system. Now, again, I'm a bit unfamiliar with this, so let's click up in the top right corner and get a bit more information, both on what we're checking for and what the criteria is for a pass-fail. And so we see here that it's a system value flag. And so because we received a fail, that means that our queue password change block is set to none. And we have a bit more information about what that is. So I'm going to back up here. And now we're going to take a look at customizing this report. So, for example, let's look at NetServer shares. Now, we failed with 6 here. Essentially, we have 6 open network shares, and we'll learn that the criteria is to actually allow 0 in our criteria. And when we go in here, what a customer may want to do is run this report monthly. And if they know that they have 6 shares and they're fine with that, that's something that they need for their business, they don't necessarily want to see a fail every time that they run this report. So what we can do is adjust the criteria so that 6 is allowed and will pass the report card check. So we'll get back into the report card list here. And we're going to take an option 9 to select reports. That's going to allow us to edit the criteria and the reports added to these. So I'll take an option 9. And you'll notice at the bottom here that the built-in report card cannot be edited. So with all of the report cards that Fresche ships, we want them to stay the same. And in order to edit them, we'll actually need to copy them first. So I'm going to take a 3 to copy here. And here we can call this whatever we like. Now the report card ID needs to have no spaces, so you see they're joined by underlines there. And the report card name is just an identifier, so I'll just do my custom standards. And the category, what we can do here actually is I'm going to set this to a custom category. And this is going to include all of my custom reports that I've generated, and we will show you later that we can actually filter based off that as well. And the final is the regulation, and that's just whether this is a regulatory report card or something that we're just interested in. So I'll leave that as no. I'll hit enter twice, and what I'll show you actually, we have the custom category we just set to custom. I'm going to see right now the report card is white. I'm going to place my cursor on category, and we're now going to sort based on the category. Now we see here custom, but if you were to have say a bunch of custom ones, you might want to filter only the custom reports and bring those right up to the top, and here we are. Now before we run this report card, we want to change our criteria. So we'll take an option 9 on our newly generated report card, and here you'll see all of the different reports that are included in this report card. We see this net server shares is what we're going to look to target, but you can also at this point add any reports that you'd like. With an F4, it's going to pull up the list of all of the reports available to you. So not only can we just change the criteria of report cards, we can actually add in any reports that we want included as well. So I'm going to target the network shares here, place my cursor there, and we're going to take a look at the comp conditions, and that's an F10, and we'll see these are the compare conditions that we have available to us. So because we have 6 and we want that to pass, I'm going to do less than or equal to 6 is okay. So we will set our condition less than or equal to, and I'm going to set this to 6. And as I hit enter here to save that, you'll actually see on the right side that we now have a pass. Now this is the last run, so because we just ran this report card with a fail, we see now with the new condition it's swapped over to pass. So I will exit out of here, and now with our newly customized report, we're going to run this just like we did the initial report card. Take an option 7, and we'll leave these again as defaults. Now again, that would take some time, so I generated this in the background. You'll see the title that I gave it, my custom security standards, and we're going to take a look down at the net server shares, and here we have our pass. Now we have a 0 here. We still had 6 in our net server shares list, but because that was allowed within the criteria, we have no failures, thus we're left with a pass. So that is how we can customize existing report cards. Of course, at any point you can create them fully customized from the ground up, but if you'd like to get a head start, you can copy one of the existing ones and select the reports and criteria that you are looking for. Thanks.